I know you want to open with this live stream with one of your tunes. I think it's fitting that you do one of your many songs that you have out there. All right. My viewers and subscribers know that we cannot do the copyright stuff, so we definitely have to do this one a
Live.
cappella style.
Oh gosh. All right. Do 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 do. Yeah. Do 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 do. Well. Search for love in all the worst places you'll find it. Too temporary, not enough. Oh, so many promised you forever, but it's kind of alignment, it's love. No, da, 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 da. You're spending so much time in mirrors, think you're lacking. Self-esteem is going down, no, sinking deeper into darkness. Lost your passion, no one to take you off the ground. Who came down? Hey, put you up on your 2 feet, whose life laid down so you could rise again indeed. Who came down, 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 da da da, life laid down. His name is Jesus, that's why I sing. You should know about a lover like this. Oh yeah, you should know about a lover like this. Da, 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 da. You should know about a lover like this. Yeah, you should know about a lover like this. Yeah.
Yes, John Mark.
Blessings, man.
Yeah, man.
Blessings, man.
Which tune is that?
Lover like this. Lover like this.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, man.
Sin?
It's my going theme. It's my going message, regardless of whichever song I write or whichever one I've written in the past. It's to really make the world know, say, and the body of Christ. Jesus is worthy to be praised. That's one. He is a lover and him love first. And him asks if we love him back. You know? And I think that it's our goal and it's our mandate to make as many people know as possible to join and get into a relationship with this man from Galilee, Christ Jesus. This man from heaven, as a matter of fact. So it's my going theme,
Definitely.
my message. I can't let go of that, you know what I mean?
All
Yeah.
right. Awesome. And I'm happy that you're putting it out there. And we can declare that you're a Christian.
Yeah, definitely so. Unapologetically Christian.
Mm, definitely.
Yeah?
All right, bro.
Follower of Christ.
Yeah, man. All
Yes.
right. So John Mark, when I read your bio, I realized that you are a Jamaican born. The first time I heard you on social media, based on what I heard from your accent, I couldn't tell if you were a Jamaican or not. But when I read your bio, I realized that you were actually born in Jamaica.
Yes.
All right.
So
So
as,
so tell us
yeah,
a little
man.
about that.
About born in Jamaica. You want me to tell you the other
Yeah,
part
man.
or
You
you
were
are gonna
born in
bring it up?
Jamaica, and then you later migrated to a different Caribbean island. So give us a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, man. So I was born here in Jamaica, St. Thomas, Princess Margaret Hospital, Marant Bay. And I grew up in Fonthill, St. Thomas. Now, to get to Fonthill, St. Thomas, you have to drive past Marant Bay, past Seaford. Like, yeah, I got Trinityville and like Danvers, Pen and them place there. And you'd arrive at Fonthill. And when I was about age 5, my grandmother had first gone, and then my father had migrated to Antigua. And so he took me up to live with him. And so by that time, I was talking, you know. You know what I mean? By age 5, you're already a talk. You might not reach all of your sense of awareness of your space
See?
and where you are. Because the first time I flew, I didn't know I went on a plane. I didn't know I traveled. I didn't know that we went to an airport. All I knew is when I landed, well, I know me I said we landed, but I didn't know that we landed anywhere. We don't know we come off our plane. All I know is a lady up my hand, you know what I mean, and she did look excited to see me. And a vulnerable little child like I am. If she was not my grandmother, I would have been kidnapped that day.
Oh,
Luckily, she
see?
was my grandmother, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
went to
man.
her, went home later that night. I met the first person that I recognized in the night because I saw my aunt at the airport and my grandma at the airport. But later that night, I saw my father and I was like, oh, I'm where my father is. Cool, no problem. So I was in Antigua and I grew up in Antigua from then on. And I did all of my schooling there, got exposed to their patois and their accent. And so I
Okay.
learned them both. Every time I come back to Jamaica, it was a laughing stock because I didn't know that there was a difference in the talk. I didn't know that I needed to like retrain my tongue into Jamaican patois, that it was funny to them that I was speaking like the Antiguans. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. So I didn't know that. I learned it over time. Say, oh, different islands actually talk different. And you actually pick it up and learn it without even realizing. Yeah.
See? All right. So, was it in Antigua that you were exposed to music?
I'd say I was exposed to music at first, in church in Jamaica now. Same church again. But yeah man, like me and my cousin them, we used to pretend to play the music at church in the yard when we go home, we pretend to play.
Mm,
We pretend to sing a song, we pretend to be the worship leader and the preacher. You know, we keep church. You
yeah,
know
man.
them way that we keep church after church
Yeah.
keep because it's what we know, is what we see as like something that's away from home. So we keep it. We kill lizard and keep funeral. You know, you need a singer, you need a preacher. Them way there. So in Antigua though, it's when I started touching instruments for the first time, you know what I mean? And touching the
Mm,
microphone and singing. So I'd say that's the better, you know what I mean, hold and feel and better rub off to music that I had. And I started to sing a lot because I heard my aunt singing a lot in the house, you know? So that's what
okay.
happened. Yeah man.
All right. But you said you were exposed to musical instruments here in Jamaica, and but
No, in Antigua. So
oh, in Antigua.
in Jamaica I was exposed to music.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So if I know sound me I hear at church, if I know sound I
Right.
hear for the dance where I keep later down I sing fence land, yeah, I hear church. You know what I mean? So I was
Mm,
exposed to music on a whole. But
right.
in Antigua is when would I start first dabble with instruments and really hold the microphone and sing something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So, but why singing and not well, musicians in general, singers and players of instrument are will come under the same umbrella. But why a vocalist, not an instrumentalist?
My friend, to tell you the truth, you know, the vocal part, you know, so my least favorite instrument,
It is.
singing. Yeah. But so a drum I start play first, and drum I love the most to this day. To this day,
Mm,
I love drum the most. And
oh,
then I attempted to learn the keyboard, and my reason for learning the keyboard is because I started hearing songs in my head and I wanted to flesh them out. But what happens is when you meet up with a musician who no catch or grasp the full idea of your song yet, them kind of not really run with the vision, and it kind of hard
yeah.
for partner with them. So I realized I needed to learn an instrument. So I tried out the keyboard. The keyboard, it's tough, man. And now I start understand it a little better. But the keyboard was very difficult for me to understand initially. And and later on in life, I take up the guitar and this gentleman teach me first four chords. And he's like, yo, you can write a billion songs with these cards. But make sure
Yeah.
when we meet you again, make sure you know more cards and more stuff on the guitar. And so from then we start play a lot more. So the guitar became my second favorite instrument after the drum. But my voice, I'll tell you why I'm singing. When I understood the call on my life that God had, is in, it would cause me to be an orator for Him. It would
Mm,
cause me to sing and speak. And so because of that, I realized, all right, that's why I'm blessed with a voice to be able to sing, because He want me carry a message in a very
right.
profound and very loud way. So I start do that. So even when I went to Edna Manley, I really wanted to go and do guitar. And you know what I mean? I heard the Lord say, do voice, and I heard and the music teacher at the time who I was just meeting her. She said, "Yo, I really think you should do voice." I was like, Jano, I was willing to do whatever it takes to get ready to do an instrument. You understand? We said, do voice. And I realized it had two things it helped me: speaking. You know what I mean? Because I realized over time, them start asking for preach at church and them look away there. Or teach and to sing. And so learning to use my voice properly over time, and I'm still learning it, is what the direction God put me in as a singer. So me singing is obedience, bro. I love it, but it's my least, it's my least favorite instrument of the three. If I could be the drummer, I would be the drummer. If I could be the guitarist, I'd just be the guitarist. But me have a message for carry, and I love singing, but of the instruments, it's my least favorite. So I have to spend the most time with it, crafting it, getting it better to present it to the world. So that's why the vocals, because I have the message to carry, brother. I have the message to carry.
All right. Really, I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, bro.
Bless up, man.
I think we definitely have to bring you on the network another time to discuss that side of you. But I know our viewers and subscribers, they are waiting on the part where we discuss your new single. But
Yeah,
I just want to flesh out some more things before we actually go there. But
no problem.
you have this reggae concept to your performance. I don't know if you chose to be a reggae artist, or if it's the easiest way to get your message out, or is because you're a Jamaican, But what influenced your this reggae type of style?
um, when I just got saved, just before I got saved, I was in the hotel circuit doing secular gigging, right?
Mm,
In Antigua, and I was doing a lot of reggae music. In fact, I was known to do it well. So them time that I was living and breathing Chronix, Romain Virgo, Christopher Martin, a lot. Taurus, Riley, all them people, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So when I got saved now, it's like me hear God say, leave the reggae music alone.
Oh,
And
see?
I'm feeling one conviction to myself, say, leave the reggae music alone for now. Like, even though you're gonna pursue gospel music, it's like him I said, don't trouble the reggae music. And I think within the space of people who knew me, I think the reason now was for me to prove that I just didn't want to come over and just take the same talent and just say, oh, I forgot now. But God was
Right.
processing me and maturing me to be able to do the music from a message-based place and not a talent-based place. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And a place of conviction instead of a place of entertainment. If you catch what I say.
all right.
So
Yeah, man.
though it needs to be entertaining, though it needs to be effective, and though it needs to come from a place of talent and gifting, it's like it did a process me. So it's about 2 years after I started releasing music. A producer at the time asked me if I had a reggae track I want to put out. I was like, no, I have a reggae track. I've been avoiding making reggae music because I don't want the market to see me as, oh, I'm just going to turn Christian and do the same thing. I want, you know what I mean? So I did
Right.
avoid it, because I really cared about what people thought at the time. But as I say, I saw the bigger picture of God processing me and maturing me to be able to do the music and love Him more than it. Because you know
Right.
him
Right.
come for ask you back. Him come for ask you back for the giftings and the talents and the things that he's given to us. And he might say, yo, lovest me more than these. And so he processed me at the time. So the
Okay.
first reggae song I put out was Something Good. I'll tell you how that one happened. I was working at the time with my father. So my father is a barber, so he teach me the trade. So each year when I would leave from Jamaica to go back to Antigua from Edna Manley, I would work with him in the barber shop. So I do a lot of music. I do any gigs that were there. But in the day, predominantly I would do barbering with him. And I was at work early because I got early, walk in the shop, clean the place, do my devotion. And while I do my devotion, remember the producer said, see if you come up with a reggae song, because I really love to work on a reggae project. I'm there, I'm start my prayer, I say, God, I just want you to give me something good. Please. I'm say, Jano, that is a really something good, yeah. Something
Yeah.
good, yeah. So me I say, God, I saw you play. Me ask him
Yeah,
for
man.
something good and him say, yes, he sang there's something good in him. You say, want something good, me give you something good.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Give us a little piece more of that tune, man. Cause
I've
that
got
tune
a
is bad.
message for the broken and depressed. Life has been a ruin, everything has been a mess. Problems all over, man, and all you know is stress. How long have you waited for some peace and happiness? How long have you waited for your breakthrough? Patience, haven't have you seen the virtue? Get ready, this is what you're gonna do. A blessing from the Father, man, is writing stuff for you. This reggae music, well, keeps me grooving, makes me know that something good is gonna happen. Oh, something good, yeah. Oh, Lord, something good, yeah. I know that something good is gonna happen. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Sick,
So
bad.
him give me the song, I will go the same night we start flesh out the song. Same night we start flesh out the song. And I was like,
Yeah,
yo,
man.
this is
Yes.
beautiful.
So inspiration. You say you got the song the same night and you flesh it out. Inspiration. How does that how does that come?
In a different place, I think when we stay vulnerable and stay aware, So personally I try to stay vulnerable and try to stay aware. Vulnerability make you exposed to a lot of hurt, but it
Right.
also exposes you to the greatest good that you can experience with anybody. So when you enter a new relationship or new interaction, for instance, me and you here right now, we are talk, right? And we are all
Yeah.
a vibe. If I'm closed off and not as vulnerable as I can be, we don't know how great or good of a relationship this can be. If I'm avoiding you disrespecting me, or you avoiding me disrespecting you in any way,
Right.
what we can do is see how far that relationship can go with mutual respect, and you know what I mean. And we can experience the greatest good of that relationship. Or if you're vulnerable enough, you would be exposed to be hurt by the person in a way that you say, me get bite. But vulnerability, because it bring hurt, you can write from that place. You see me?
Yeah, man.
Vulnerability, because it brings great experiences, you can also write from that place. You see me? So,
Right.
and it come with different sonic waves and sound. So depending on how bad of an experience we had, it could have brought sadness, anger, or frustration. And you can write from a place of sadness, different from a place of anger, different from a place of frustration. You know what I mean? And if we had a
Right.
great experience, we could write from a place of celebration, peace, tranquility, happiness. You know what I mean? And so
Definitely.
this likewise with my relationship with God. When you spend time with God in that vulnerable space there, He could show you things and express things about Himself. So like lover like this. Lover like this come from a vulnerable place there where him show me say, yo, say me actually love you. And the other song when him let me love you. He come from the vulnerable place of him being exposed to my shame and my sin and my guilt. And you're exposed enough and vulnerable enough to actually feel him and know him as a healer and know him as a friend and know him as a counselor. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
because of that, I think just you just have to be open, as guarded as we are. The Bible asks us to guard our hearts because from it flows the issues of life. So that basically explains it. My heart is guarded. I've learned to guard it over time, but I've also learned that I need to be vulnerable in order to get the greatest experience I can from any relationship, whether bad or good. And from that can come great, impactful music. And the same with the relationship with God. So it's relationship with God and relationship with people. So when I'm really open with Him, I can get great songs there from the space of worship and adoration to Him, or from the space of him actually ministering to me. I'm gonna say, oh, this is how I've experienced you, God. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Yo, you
Yes.
ask very good questions because you actually make me think about thoughts that I don't get to answer on different interviews. So I appreciate your question.
Yes, man. Definitely. Well,
Yeah.
this is a Music Hacks Network, and we try to capture everything about the musician. I wish we
Yeah.
had time sometime to ask the right questions and more questions, more relevant questions because
Yeah.
I think when we start out as music acts, we realize that most musicians don't get the time to vent and to really speak how they
Yeah.
feel and stuff like that. It's always, well, you're a singer slash instrumentalist, so you have the best of both worlds. But a lot of musicians
Uh-huh.
are not singers. So most of the time, they don't get the chance to speak.
I get
It's
you.
always the vocalist. I know
I
I
get
might
you.
get myself in trouble for that, but that's how it is. All right, so
Yeah.
John, I know you have quite a few singles out there, but have you actually compiled an album, so to speak?
So the album, we like over the years, I kept putting it off because of how I view the market space and
Mm-hmm.
how I and different instructions and different advice for me get. And so I heard the Lord said to me in 2020, get the album ready. And I said, Jono, and since then, been a conversation with people, me I wonder if an album or EP. So it's just a matter of less songs or more songs. How heavy we are going for the investment. And
Right.
so the intention this year is to release an album later this year. It will have some of the songs that are out there already,
Right.
and some that no one has ever heard, or maybe they've heard it live, but that's not the vast majority.
Oh,
And
see?
this album, your validation is actually the title track of the album.
All right. Yeah, man. We get into the validation. We soon drop the
Ah,
validation. You know why?
yeah,
I know our audience is waiting for that. I realize Melanin and Corey and those guys are on YouTube
yeah.
just waiting,
My people,
waiting
them
for that.
man, big up on
Yeah,
yourself,
man.
love you, appreciate you so much.
Definitely. But
She have a guitar
just
behind there,
getting
somebody. A big musician, man. Of course.
no no
Now
man,
me
not
see
really.
sponge them for a while. You have studio. Yeah, man. You go
No
on with
man,
them
it's
thing, man.
just a little thing we set up for
Yeah.
network, network a
Yeah.
little bit
But you
professional like.
play. But you play, man.
Yes, man. I try to play the bass guitar.
Yeah.
You I'm learning from Fog and those guys.
Man.
You know,
They say it's the easiest instrument to learn, hardest one to master.
the hardest one to master.
Easiest one to learn, hardest one to master, the bass guitar.
Hardest one to master. So I've heard. So it's a work in progress.
Yeah, man, go and do it, man.
Definitely. But which one of the songs would you say is it the has a better track record? Because I know all of them popular, right? All of them catchy, and most of your fans can sing all of them from start to finish. But which song has the best track record to date?
Collaborative,
Mm.
something good. Single, no collab, lover like this.
Oh, see,
Yeah. So far, and personally, I think it's because of where it's been exposed and where it's been played.
mm.
Because like, like from a place of proximity,
Yeah,
these two songs that I've mentioned, a lot of the times people I meet don't
right,
identify any of those as their favorite. Like if somebody come up to me and want to tell me which one of them favorite, they
yeah,
don't say, they don't easily say lover like this or something good. They will say like let me love you or he lives.
mm.
Yeah. But
Okay,
that's what I from what I see in terms of numbers of streams and viewership and the one that's easily sung in person live, something good and lover like this.
all right,
Yeah.
mad thing. All right,
Mhm.
so let's go into your professional training. When you got to Edna Mali, you started and stuff like that, and we can't leave out the band because you are one of the most awesome band
Definitely.
um that 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 is supporting you right now. So I want to hear a little about that. I have asked Jonathan to to join the stream. I don't know if he's
Awesome.
able to, but we're gonna get into that. So just about 10 more minutes. How you got started at Enamali? How you put
Yeah.
the band together, and then we go into the main discussion, which will be your new single, Validation. So tell us a little about your training.
Yeah. So I was actually studying engineering at the time, and I was doing a course called Engineering Communication, and the lecturer, well, I think she was lecturing. She was doing that course because she was a bachelor degree holder, maybe a master degree holder at the time. But she wasn't particularly in the engineering field per se. It's not her area of specialty, but she could have. I guess she could have done the course. I don't know. Not to get into the meat of that. But while she was doing the course, I think I was giving her the work all the time. You know what I mean? I was doing very well in the class, but one day she told me that I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be studying music. I mean, I said, what should I say? But I know that the influence in that was that I used to often take my guitar to school. I was learning to play at the time. And every time I learn a few chords, but you know, I mean, sing a song when I know or just learn something and she say, you know, belong here, so. I should start jump around and get some things in place and call some people here and there. And she got me aligned with a scholarship to come and study. So long story short, me end up at Jamaica study music. Come off of the engineering course so me did that one. You understand? Because
Oh, see?
I was thinking, yo, I need to come out of my parents' pocket fast and I need to pick a career that can do that. So I started to
Mm,
look in these avenues. But it wasn't particularly obedient to what God did direct me in, you see me? So
okay.
as in the latter part of the engineering now, I got saved and I saw him start direct me as to what him want me to do. And I saw me end up
Mm,
find that this lady actually aligned with my purpose, what God want me to do. And so me end up at Jamaica, studying music, meet different members of the band, and people like Jonathan and Ears. We started school together. Josiah, he came in the following year. He came in at year one. Um, Joel, I remember meeting him at a church, and I say, "Yo, you your body, you know, that another study," and him say, "Yeah, actually." So he's actually
jump
a
pass.
year. Yeah, he's actually a year after us.
Uh,
Um, who else am I missing? Trini, he came in with us as well. In as we went in, we all went in together, and I mean different members had shifted and changed out over time. But I think that's the core member. That's the persons who have pledged their allegiance so far and been faithful to the move. And the singers that Cherry Bubbles, Daniel, most time the males have changed, but these two girls have been very consistent in rolling with me. Outside of that, it's been some of my other friends like Adrian Osborne, Rashida, Mitchell, who have sung with me before. And other names, I mean, notable names, but in terms of who pledged, say, yo, we're rocking with you, we're rolling with you, we see the vision. I actually didn't put the band together, you know, my friend.
you
The
didn't.
band, no, Foga was friends with these guys. Foga shared more classes with them than me. I mean, education, right? And he did performance. So he was able to get closer with these guys. And I think he had relationships with them prior, to, like even Joel, the drummer.
Mm,
So one day, I remember going to Antigua for a little time, and when I came back, and probably I want to show me they do too. When I came back, you know what I mean, they said, you know, they want to meet with me and all the reasonings. And in the reasonings, they them say, look, you know, we there, we'd like to rock with you, we'd like to embark on this move and this mission with you. Um, and yeah, I was totally appreciative of it and the initiative. Um, and the rest was history. But personally, I didn't think I wanted to pull a band together at the time because I was avoiding the stress of coordinating people. And
yeah.
I think that when you when you ask people to pledge their time and allegiance to a vision that you have, it calls for a sense of care, a heightened sense of care for them that I didn't think I was ready to take on personally. You know, but
Okay.
God had other plans. Cause like him know say if he wait pan to put this thing together, it need to put together. So he make a band come to me. You understand?
Right.
He make a band
Um,
come to me.
yeah, man.
The rest was history. Yeah, man.
But Foga logged on just in time. I don't know if he wants to share his video, but I would appreciate if he shared
Yeah,
his
man.
video. Foga is here.
Over
So
share
yeah,
video, man.
man. So
And the
Foga, you were
girl,
instrumental at this time, bro.
yeah.
I'm gonna bring you on stream, Foga.
Foga with the beard. Foga with the beard.
Bless up. Bass man. So this is the guy I'm learning bass from, Johnmark from Foga. You
Stop
know?
that. Stop that. No. Stop that. No.
Oh man, serious. So Foga, um,
Oh, go on.
you 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 actually approached John Mark and wanted to put the band together. All right. But I
Yeah.
realized that you were very instrumental in making this happen. So maybe you can shed some light on that. How did you actually get the guys together to form the backing band for John Mark?
Well, just like Johnmark, it wasn't really me that actually put the band together. So funny story. The way how the band actually came to be was that while at school, as a former Edna person, Chris, you know that we have lunch hour concert, and it was, I don't remember the year. I think we were in year one now. But our friend Janai Davis, who at the time went by the name Minister Gadat, he actually had a lunch hour that it so happened that a core group of us ended up working together on. And it was like from that lunch hour, the vibe was just different level, to the point where like we look at each other and we say, like, yo, we could actually be like a band, And then it so happened that there was a gospel concert that happened at the school in the front parking lot. I don't know if John remember that. I did talk about that earlier, where we had a gospel
Yeah.
concert that was put on by the school. I think it was Edna's first ever gospel concert in the parking lot of the school. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a case that we ended up playing for a couple people on that show. And it's like the same thing. And it's like, no. And all of it they come together at the time. It's like, it was just a general consensus
Johnmark.
that, yo, this is a team we want to work with. And so it so happened that after that, we actually ended up doing a lunch hour with Johnmark, for one of his original songs, which we did not arrange at the time. We just kind of followed it. Boy, him just send we a audio and a guitar, him just send me voice and guitar and say, this is the idea, and the thing with John usually have an idea of what the song must sound like in his brain. And send we a little record with him, I play guitar and I sing the song. Do, 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 do. It's like, I say, yeah, meet up in the rehearsals. We put together a arrangement of it, which is not the arrangement it has now. And it was like after that lunch hour, it was just the vibe on that lunch hour was just different, like people just came to us afterwards and it's like, boy, this, that, like if John Mark did sing that line one more time, if this did happen, if that did happen, like after that lunch hour, you could have felt like there was a different feeling, not just amongst us, but in like the entire concert. And like after that lunch hour, we really came together and it was like, yo, this is something that we really want to take serious. That we all came together. Let me share a truth. You see, when we never know John Mark, let me tell you, this is a fun fact. I don't even know if even John did know this. At first, when we met John Mark in PQ, many of us did think he was a dancehall artist. You see?
A dancehall artist.
Yeah, man. And you know what, that boy, I don't know, there was just
What?
something about it. All of us just think he was a dancehall artist. Until one day we finally say, you know, I gotta listen to this, I gotta listen to your music when I was at that. And we
Yeah.
realized, oh, wait, no, it was a gospel artist.
John. Oh, that John. Oh, John. What were you doing at that time? What were you singing, bro?
Me
For
no
them
know.
to
Me no.
think that you're a dancehall artist.
Yeah, I don't have a clue why them would come to that conclusion. Then, you know. Yes, me. But I saw them tell me where they are. Where do you know it?
You know, and it was just
Oh,
me thinking, was sweet thinking it was a
oh,
dance artist. When I remember how I did that.
okay.
But
Seeing. All right. Final question for you before I let you go. So John is a musician, and I know he has a lot of experience, right?
yeah.
How difficult is it to work with a singer artist who is a musician? You know, because I know in my circle it's not an easy thing. But let me hear your take on that. You know, what's your experience with that?
Oh, difficult.
Yeah.
Um, it's
I
real, to
mean,
be
when he's
honest,
not hearing what he wants to hear or whatever, you know, how you guys work it out?
all right. So in terms of that, um, John, all right. To be honest, John is not difficult to work with at all. You know, he really isn't. It's a case of he's very clear in terms of the idea he has in his head, but at the same time, he always gives us room to use our own creativity. You know, so like John will come, like if you get a new song, John will come to rehearsal, or he will tell you from before the rehearsal, say, yo, I have the new song, it sound like this is what me I hear. But when we get into the space and we start put the song together, it's like he himself is at a point where it's like, this is what I want to hear, but you guys can approach it in this way or in this way. So what he does, he gives us a guideline, but then he leaves us to use our creativity on the song. So I would say it's difficult working with Johnmark with that concept. He's very musical. He's open to ideas. If the ideas don't agree, it's usually very easy for us to find a compromise. What if we do it this way, where best of both worlds are? What if we interpret his idea slightly differently or interpret our idea slightly differently? But at the end of the day, we usually get the job done, and we always have fun doing it.
Definitely, I agree with that. I think you paint the picture the right way, bro. That's true. Because I like listen. The moment you walk into a space feeling like you're the most creative one, you just disrespect music. You exalt yourself and you disrespect music. You see me? So it's like music will whisper to me and say, "Hey, I have an idea." Then what the music wants you to do is go to a next musician and say, "This is the idea." So trigger, and it can build upon the idea, and it can become very brilliant. And I think what that do actually is keep the most talented of musicians extremely humble. You know what I mean? It keep the most talented of musicians extremely humble. It keep the most talented of singers extremely humble. Um, because it's like what can give you the most excellent music out of this? Is it a bias to what the artists prefer, or can you guys really discuss what would make this thing excellent overall and connect to people? Because people have to listen to it. We can't just listen to it and say, yo, this funny. And then we alone love it all. We can't go do this. You know what I mean? So we always find a compromise there and find the best way to bring it across. I love working with them for that reason. Matter of fact, your sound gone, you know. Me not hear you like you talk. You hear him, Foga?
No,
Yeah, you hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah, me I hear. Yo, what me do I tell you a while ago? One of the things
Yeah.
I have to do, is put on a harness on these guys, like a blinder, like like this thing where you have on a horse.
Yeah.
When him, like the horse just want to run and go in on some things, and sometimes me have to say, hey, hold
Hold
on,
the mic.
you see me? Yeah, because
Yeah.
them have such a vast amount of creativity and ideas that I think it just needs stewardship in the right spaces, and then them just realizes out of them 100% idea, each of them want 25% here and a 18% from that person and a 5% from this person and a correction from this person give with brilliance. Pass. Yes.
Yes, man. That was a trailer to Validation.
Yeah.
Man, when that dropped, I tell you that was hot. You know. So that's a brand new single, Validation. I think a lot of persons join this live stream to hear about Validation. Tell us about Validation at this time.
Validation was written in 2020. Recorded, part of it was recorded 2021. Well, the entire thing was recorded 2021. And we lost some of the footage. We lost some of the footage and end up having to do a piece of it again in 2022. So in fact, that's why Validation even takes so long. But God's timing proves to be best at all times. You know what I mean? Yeah, so Validation was written in 2020 as I was experiencing I felt like it was a very traumatic experience where I felt rejected. I know it wasn't a girl or anything like that. But yeah, I felt rejected, and it had some to do with the industry and the space and how I was being developed.
Okay.
As an artist, as a musician, in the whole wave of things. And it had some run-ins to do with relationships that I was having with some people. Here again, I told you about earlier the act or the ability to be vulnerable. If you're completely vulnerable in an interaction, you can experience the best of it or the worst of it. So Validation was curated or provoked to be written by what you would view as a worst experience. Yeah, so when I spend time with God now after the fact, so a lot of depression, a lot of self-doubt, low self-esteem for a season, like a strong month of it, you know. And for me, I consider myself to be a strong person mentally. So for me to have even a week of that type of voice in my ears or that type of feeling, it was really traumatic for me. So when I spend time with God now, Him exposed to me some of my incorrect perceptions and some of my incorrect motives in music and so on, and in ministry. And when He was able to correct those things as He ministered to me, I knew I started healing when Him started giving the song for write for people. You understand? So everything me I sing about it. So when you watch the lyrics, I'm gonna say, I know you feel rejected now, you're invisible, feeling like you're worse than dead. Place has always been the outside, and at this moment you feel sorry for yourself. You've been trusting in vanity to give you an identity. So it's even that, like, part of the vanity is the musicianship and the ability to sing or to play. Part of the vanity was that where I trusted in what people would consider value to be my measure of value, instead of just trusting that I'm a son of God and that's valuable enough. So a
Awesome.
lot of the lyrics is like him saying he was glad that that happened, and I'm glad it happened to me, so that God could deal with my heart, so I can now use that testimony there to minister to people. Because a lot of people feel the very same way, even though their circumstance or situation may vary. Whatever caused them to be at that place may vary, but really and truly, a lot of people have the same issue. You know what I mean? So that's where the song birthed from. But may I allow your questions to guide anything else me say about the song.
Yeah, man. So, how well has it been doing since you drop it?
Yo,
You
I
know?
think it's been doing extremely well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had some reluctance to this song because it's like a more vintage reggae sound. It's a
Yeah.
vintage reggae sound, vintage reggae concept. And I know that we were doing the video and we are gonna be a little bit risky with how the video is brought across, because I wanted to depict how a lot of the damage in the video, you know, was self-inflicted. All of
Okay.
that pain and all of that scar was self-inflicted. One of the
Mm.
reasons why we didn't get to paint that picture clearly is because of the footage that was lost in 2022. You see
Right.
me? But a lot of it was self-inflicted, and it would show you that I thought that it was the interaction with the person that caused me to be in so much pain, but it's actually me
Self.
itself. And and
Mm.
and and what will happen is people will enter your life and they will press buttons and trigger things that you actually already have internally. You understand? And it only
Yeah, man.
expose what you made. Don't expose your own insecurities. So I said,
Definitely.
no. So it's like, and that's why we have to really be in socialization with people, because at that you really know what you're built of and what you're made of when other people enter the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
man.
that's what I'm saying. The response has been great. I feel people are being healed, and when people are telling me that, I stop looking for views. You know, when
Mm.
me hear one person say, "Yo, I that me did need to come out of that dark place there," I stop looking for views, because I realize it sell itself now, because the person that want somebody else get healed. I stop
Right.
forcing to share because that person that want somebody else hear it, and that has been happening. And the reviews have been coming back in that it's so different, it's so refreshing in the gospel space to really go in on
Mm.
a video and paint a picture like that. So it was actually very unique to the market space to have done it with that delivery and the
Mm.
sound too. And the fact that it dropped in at the midst of reggae month, it's like very relevant to the time.
Yes,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? It's
Yeah,
very
man.
relevant to the time. And so everybody are going on them historical reggae and I see if they can get inspiration and influence. And we come in as some little young youth now and chop through with that sound and this approach. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm.
So that really
Definitely.
go on. So the reviews have been great. We're grateful.
Awesome, bro. So a lot of persons might not know where to find validation. I'm gonna ask you to give them the definite links where they
Yeah.
can find validation to download, listen, purchase, you name
Yeah.
it.
Yo, so validation, I really wanted to watch the video. So Johnmark Wiggan official on YouTube, watch the video, get a perception, get an understanding, get a feel. It give a bit of history, black history, it give a bit of the reggae month feeling, give that color there, it gives that sound. It don't sound like any other reggae me ever do. I'm telling you.
Uh,
It really go back to the grassroots, and it had some new nuances that we hear and that we like to style the music with today, because we are youth and we are explore the music one way. So we don't really try to force ourselves to be old school authentic, but with respect, we respect it, and we see how best we can show our respect to that in our illustration of how it's played. You know what I mean? From the jump to
yeah,
the
man.
bang of the keyboard to the stretch, we try respect the music a lot. But in terms of our approach and so on, and the vocal approach we took for the song and them way there, you know what I mean? We really try.
Right.
So validation, I needed to watch the video to feel the impact of it. And it's on all the other music streaming platforms right now. So as long as you type in Johnmark Wiggan, it will bring you to any music that I've published so far on these platforms, and you'll be able to iTunes, Spotify, what all the rest them name? iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music. What are the platforms? All of them. Amazon, it did it wait for you. Whatever your favorite one is to use. You know?
Awesome. All right. I know I don't want to keep it too much longer, Johnmark, because we have been here almost an hour. The conversation has been so informative. All right.
No,
It was a
I
pleasure.
really appreciate this space. Trust me.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure having you here. But normally what we do, we take questions from YouTube. So we have a question from Chadian Monroe. All right. Chadian is the keyboardist for Barry Salmon, one of my good friends. So he's asking, what are now that validation is out there, what are your goals for the next 3 to 5 years?
All right. So first thing, you see, because so much people affected by this issue, the self-esteem and self-worth issue, I would like to know that at least 500,000 people have written a comment, have sent a message saying, yo, this bless me, this heal me. And then 500,000 people have shared with 500,000 more, or a million. So I intend to have released at least 2 albums within that time. And I want to become a household name. But here's the purpose for that household name. I think it's a long time since a gospel artist have been recognized from Jamaica in a very international way. You know what I mean? And I want to be recognized in an international way because we sold out to the purpose of the message of Jesus Christ, and we want to bring that. But we also have a lot of respect for the music and the art form, and so we want to be able to display that at the highest level. And so we want that to be, we want that to resonate with the people 2 ways. These guys, Johnmark Wiggan is an excellent musician, but make no mistake, Johnmark Wiggan's soul mission is to win soul for Christ. And that's why I'm going to bring the music near, far, and wide. So we want to become global. We want to impact. We want a lot of people to be able to have this music, heal from it, grow from it, celebrate with it. If you're down and you want something to keep your company there and pull you out of that space of that, if you're celebrating and you're triumph, you have music to celebrate with. If you need music for healing, it's there. And so God give me the ideas and the inspiration to write and to come up with the music that match your seasons. And so we want to do that on a global scale. So the people here tonight, I appreciate you being here because I believe within my heart, within 2 years' time, as God opened the right doors and we trust his process, that within the same set of years that you asked about, will be very impactful and a force to be reckoned with. And the kingdom of darkness are afraid away. Bad. We're afraid away already.
Yeah, man. Awesome, bro. Well said. We could have asked for a better interview tonight on the network. It was a lot of information, bro, and I know we could have gone on for another 2 hours just talking about your
Real
life.
talk, man.
Yeah, man. But definitely we're gonna invite you back another time, sometime in the future, to check up and find out where you're at, somewhere within that 3 to 5 years.
Would
All right,
appreciate
but
that, man.
we
Definitely.
appreciate you as well, bro. Thank you very much for being on the network. So what I'm going to ask you to close, I'm going to ask you just to give us a piece of validation, a cappella style, and then we will close off.
Seems like everything has passed you by, and every time you share, they're at the end of the line. Now you don't even feel like trying, cause every move you make, it seems to always be denied. Now loneliness has been your friend, but I decree and I declare today that ends. You're welcome to this family, and Jesus is your brother. Oh Lord, you won't go through that again. No, one validation counts. One validation counts. Don't be fooled by what is coming out of their mouths. They can say what they want to, but it won't stop you. No, 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 no. One validator speaks the truth. And a God, I him say what him say about you already. Anybody not say what him say about you, they're a liar. And they want to see you fall. But you're chosen, your purpose. You've been called, you've been bought with a price. You're expensive. Matter of fact, the price less. And God already count every hair upon your head and know your purpose before you were formed in your mother's womb. You're here for a reason. You see, let nobody tell you different. Big up yourself. Thank you for having me here. Music Hacks. Blessings.